Welcome to Chick-fil-A and your career in Chick-fil-A. My name is Mike Ludwig. I worked for Chick-fil-A for 11 years before I got my opportunity to be an operator, and now I have 2 stores, and I'm so excited that you are part of my team. Throughout your time working with me, you're going to want to know how to make more money, how to be promoted, and what growth ability you have with my organization. So today in this video, what I hope to go through and explain is our pipeline of leadership development. And we'll go through each stage and how you get there and what that means. So let's get started, and let me explain to you why I selected you as a team member. There were 7 reasons that I hired you, and then we call those the non-negotiable hiring standards. Those 7 qualities are: you're a hardworking, dependable, you love people, you're loyal, honest, neat and clean, and happy. As you enter the pipeline of leadership development, you are a selected team member. We select our team members, we don't hire team members. So our selection process goes through 3 interviews. We do background checks, and we check on your character. As you enter the pipeline of leadership development, first of all, you'll go through the processing. During the processing, you'll have to bring your IDs, and then we'll get you processed on your I-9s, your W-4s, and we'll get you set up. We'll also get your uniform sizes so that we can order your proper uniforms for your first big day. Then you'll go through your orientation. During the orientation is the policies and procedures. You'll be going through your policies, procedures, making sure that you know everything we do and we don't do. Now you are a team member in training. When you are a team member in training, your uniform will look like this. Now that you're a team member in training, you will be paired up with a core trainer. The next 30 days are going to be exciting, and you're going to have to keep track of your progress. So we have one list for you, and that you can keep on you at all times, in your wallet or in your pocket. We will also have a master checklist at the manager's desk. Now, the one thing that's different is that you're not a true team member yet. The one thing that's different about your uniform and a regular team member is that you'll have the square team member in training name badge. During your team member training, also, what you're going to do is you'll finish up your ETMDP training, which is our corporate Chick-fil-A training program. At the end of your training program, the 30 days, you'll be given a review and a celebration and your new round name badge. Congratulations, you have just now got through your first 30 days and you are a true team member. You have your round name badge, and now you're finding out what's next. Well, let's go there. On the pipeline of leadership development is the next spot is the trainer in a core area. So your core area trainer that you were paired up with during your initial team member in training, what they did is they became excellent, skilled in their core area. So you become skilled in your core area, and now you can be a core trainer also. What does this mean? You have the opportunity to train a team member in training. You get the stylish core training pin, and you get more money. All right, now you are a core trainer. This means that you have the ability to train a team member in training. You'll be paired up with one, and you'll get the opportunity to learn how to develop someone else. During this time, you will be learning also the other areas that you work in. You'll need to get certified both by skill testing and the ETMDP in all areas. After you are done and you are shown that you can lead, now you'll become a team leader. What does this mean? This means that you are going to be training a lot. You have already completed all the ETMDP in all areas. You've done your skill evaluations. Now you have a new shirt, and you get more money. All right, now you're a team leader and you want to find out, how do I become an assistant manager? Well, this is where the difference is. As the trainer in the core area, you were training one team member in training. While you were as the team leader, you were beginning to train more than one person or one person at many times. So, what is an assistant manager? An assistant manager, now you have reached the top wheel of the leadership pipeline of leadership development. In this section, what will happen is, as an assistant, you will not only be assisting the manager on duty, but you will also be training just as a constant deal. You're always training, right? So what you need to do is you're going to have to learn all the ETMDP and skill evaluations in all areas of the restaurant. The big difference, though, from a team leader to an assistant manager is assistant managers and above are the only ones that are allowed to bag the drive-thru and the front. So at this point, you'll have to go through your ETMDP on bagging, and you'll have to have a skill evaluation and additional training from the restaurant training director. So get on that and you can become an assistant manager. Now, when you become assistant manager, that means you have a lot more opportunity to train and to teach and to just grow as a leader. With this, you also now, if you're a male, you get to wear a tie. You also get to lose that hat. And you get more money. Now you are an assistant manager. And we want to find out how to become a manager on duty. Now, a manager on duty, or an MOD, they're responsible for all the store during their shift. Now, they're not only responsible for just the operations, but they're responsible for the development of their team members also. So what they'll have is they'll have some core trainers paired up with team members in training. They'll also have their team leaders, which will be helping out with the new team members in training also in each area. They'll have assistant managers, which you have become, which you've already been, and they're helping train the whole crew. But now you're a manager on duty. The manager on duty is responsible for all of it. They're responsible for the development, for the excitement. They're responsible for all the core four. They're responsible for all the parts of the restaurant. Now, how are you going to get from an assistant manager to a manager on duty? Well, you need to know how each part of the restaurant works. So you will be expected to go through the skills evaluations and the ETMDP training in all areas of the store. That means in all 3 areas in the kitchen and the 2 areas in the front of the house. So not only will you need to know these things, you'll also need to become skillful in these areas. This way, you can run the store. Now, in this new position as a manager on duty, you have the opportunity to lead an entire shift. You are developing as a leader in a bigger way. You have now been promoted and you have a long white sleeve shirt. And you get more money. All right, now you're a manager on duty. And you're getting the experience that you need to be a director. What is a director? Well, first of all, a director is that person that seems like they're in control when they're in the restaurant. So, you have to have the manager on duty running each of the shifts. So you might have a morning manager on duty, an afternoon manager on duty, and an evening manager on duty. So, what is a director? A director is someone who kind of trumps all of them. When they're in the building, they seem to be in control. What they've done is they now have a skill level, a high skill level in each and every area of the restaurant. They know about the P&L. They know about food costs. They know about labor costs. They've been part of the operations in every single part of the business. Now you've become a director. What does that mean? You have the opportunity to help lead the entire store. You have a leadership team behind you. Now you are able to wear your cool bow tie, and you also get more money. Now that you're a director, the last thing is senior director. Now, senior director isn't for everybody. You know what? You might end up just wanting to be a director. You might be going through college. You might have another career in mind. But if Chick-fil-A is a career idea for you, then you definitely want to be a senior director. The senior director is going to be I am ready. And that means they're going to have all the leadership skills that they need to be an IM, which is an interim manager for Chick-fil-A. They're also going to have all the skills they need to run their own business, to run a Chick-fil-A, or just to be part of the family for their career. As a senior director, you decided that Chick-fil-A is now your career. So that might mean working at the home office with Truett Cathy. Or it might mean that someday you will own your own franchise. And you know what that means when you become a senior director? That means more money. All right, that's great, guys. Now I think you do understand a little bit more of the pipeline of leadership development, of each of the elbows and each of the sections where you go through and how you get there. If you're ever unclear of how to get there, get with the training director. We will always have a training director at both stores. That training director will be your best friend. They're the ones that are going to help you get to the next place to go, but you're the one that's going to have to do the work. You're going to have to get into the ETMDP training on your own. I'll pay for it for you. You can do it before your shift, after shift, during your break, whatever. But you got to get it done. Then you have to get through your skills evaluation. Also, when you get into the higher areas of the big leadership wheel, you're going to really have to get out there and you're going to have to sell yourself. You're going to have to really push the leaders to get into those positions. We don't know you want it unless you let us know. Also, on the bottom wheel, basically what you'll have is you'll have the core trainers training the brand new team member in training. This ends up being a singular training wheel where you're training one person, and that's great. That takes the pressure off of the top wheel, which is looking more at the whole team or the whole store. Now you have the team leader, and the team leader is also, they're core trained in all the areas they work in, so they can help in the training. If maybe the core area trainer's not there, maybe they could take over for that. Maybe they're the only ones that can core train, so they're the core trainers. But this section right here is kind of in the middle. Once you get to assistant manager and above, you lose your hat, you lose your core training pin, and now you're expected to train the whole team. And that's exciting. This is how you grow. The HPLT team is not a destination in the pipeline. What is the HPLT team? Well, the HPLT team can be brought from any parts of this top level leadership wheel. Might be an assistant manager, might be a kitchen manager, might be a unit marketing director, might be a manager on duty, might be a director or a senior director. But this group right here, what they're looking for is they're responsible for the store, the vision of the complete store, not a shift, not a person, but for the whole store. There's some different areas that they're responsible for: sales, financial, people, quality and guest experiences. They also will be going to a meeting once a week, kind of getting synced up on the same page. Also, they'll learn how to lead through others in a great way. This person that's on the HPLT team, they might work in the morning, but they have to manage through the night also. They have to find key people. So if you ever want to be a key person, find somebody in the HPLT team that excites you and get on their team. So basically, this pipeline of leadership development helps you through your career with me. It shows me how far you want to go, and it shows me what you want to do. Hey, I don't expect everybody to want to be a senior director. I don't expect everybody to want to be a career with Chick-fil-A, but it's done good for me. This whole leadership development is to be able to serve the guests better. At Chick-fil-A, we talk a lot about lateral service, and you'll learn about that. And lateral service is about serving the ones that serve with you. And so that means, like, if you have a cashier right next to you, you're both are trying to serve each other to serve the customer better. It's really important. We have a couple sayings here. We are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. And that goes a long ways. We need to treat our team members, our fellow team members, the same way that we treat a guest or a customer. We also need to treat them like we want to help them so we can both help the customer, which is lateral service. The leadership development wheel, the HPLT team, the top level leaders, and also your beginning leaders, we're all important. With you as a selected team member, you are part of the beginning of this whole process, and you are very important. You were selected because of these 7 qualities, but you're also selected because you stood out. We have a lot of people that apply for jobs here. We have a lot of interviews that they don't ever get a second interview. You were processed through, you went through our process, you were selected as somebody who is going to be a benefit and is going to benefit from us. So I just want to encourage you guys, hey, this is an exciting time. This development wheel is an exciting wheel. The HPLT team, that's a cool team. And also, don't ever discount Chick-fil-A as a career. Over 16 years ago, I chose Chick-fil-A as a career of my own. I was very successful in restaurant business, and I decided to make the leap. I had given my life to God, and I wanted to be part of a company that cared more about people than money. And that's what Chick-fil-A is about. Chick-fil-A is about people. They're about serving guests. They're about team members feeling safe with their boss. It's about a whole lot more than just making money. I love Chick-fil-A. I never imagined that I would own 2 franchises. But you know what? It took me a long time, and I just kept on working hard. I kept on caring about those things that Chick-fil-A cared about, and that's the people. I cared about my customers. I cared about doing what was right. I cared about being a good steward. And you know what? You guys can do the same thing. Don't discount Chick-fil-A as a career. Chick-fil-A is an awesome place to work. You'll be treated correctly. You'll be paid fairly, and you'll always have the opportunity to work yourself up and work yourself into a higher position. I love Chick-fil-A, and I love that you're part of my development wheel.